Okay, so we're starting with our sourdough bread. We have our starter that's nice and bubbly. This one overflowed on me a little bit. We put that nice warm hot towel over it, and I have a nice big dish here, and the scale is zeroed out in grams. So I'm gonna double my sourdough recipe. So I'm gonna put 160 grams of starter per loaf. So about 160 grams. You do like 300 grams for both and be perfectly fine. So that's it for that. It's really quite bubbly and gorgeous. It really is. It's really, really nice. Okay. Went a little bit over, but that's fine. I'm going to do a third loaf separately because I'm going to do something else with that. But for right now, this is for the regular sourdough bread. I'm going to clear out the scale again. And now I'm going to add so 350 grams of water per loaf. So it's going to be 700 grams of water. And I have added minerals to that as well because I have a reverse osmosis filter, so I always add a little bit of minerals. Let me get my spatula here. So it's going to be 700 grams of water. Now, I don't know if my recipe is, I know there's people that get really into the hydration levels, and it can be really scientific, and you know what? I don't claim to really know a whole lot about that at this point. I just know it works for me. This is how I make my sourdough bread. This is not about making sourdough. This is just about what I do every day. This is one of the things I do. A few times a week I make this bread, and I think it comes really beautiful. You'll see. This is the recipe I use, and I'll show you how I do it. So I mix that with the spatula until until the starter is absorbed and dissolved. Okay. And then I use King Arthur flour. And I'm going to do, I do about 500 grams, about 525 grams of flour per loaf. So we're going to do about 1,050 grams. I'll just put the recipe in comments. But let's just do that. Maybe a little, okay, it's a little much, just a little too much. I'm going to take some back. That's fine. And then I'm gonna shove that off. And I'm gonna add, hold on. I'm gonna add salt. I'm gonna add about I'm just ducking under the camera here to get to my salt bin. I'm gonna add about 3 teaspoons of salt to it, and then just kind of mix it in. Okay? Make sure your hands are clean. I wash my hands a lot, obsessively actually. I don't want to take time from the video to wash my hands. So I'm just gonna stir this until like it's a wet, sticky dough. And then I'm gonna let it sit for a half an hour, and I'm gonna do a fold, because you don't need sourdough bread, you do fold. So I'm gonna fold it. I'm gonna do 3 folds on it, and then I will let it finish proofing. Sometimes if I don't have time to bake it the same day, I will let it proof overnight in the fridge, and that makes it nice and firm. And when it's firm and cold, it's easier to work with for sure. but I don't find it really hard. I don't find this recipe hard to work with, though. Sometimes I will add other flours, like I really like einkorn flour, and you'll see me make stuff with einkorn flour, which is like similar to what you'll find in Europe. It's like an ancient grain, and it's very low in gluten. So sometimes I'll do half einkorn, half all-purpose. It just depends on what I'm in the mood for, what I have on hand. Sometimes I don't have enough regular flour, and I'll throw it in. And it always comes good. I've never had a problem. So it's starting to come together here. And just let it. Just get it all incorporated. You see? It's not going to look, you know, fantastic like with the first, at first. It's going to look like just like a ball of wet dough. And then when I do the first fold, it'll start to look nice. It'll start to get smooth and like have a nice appearance. And by the third fold, it'll look really good. But right now, you just want to get the flour hydrated. And that's that. Hold on 1 second. Okay. There we go. That's really it. I'm just gonna get my hands in there for a second. Just to get the last bits. It's really sticky right now. I'm gonna wet my hands. There you go. Wetting your hands is really important when working with sourdough because it's really tricky, especially at these stages. So just let it sit. It'll be easier to work with once it sits. Dude, can you get me one of those bowl covers? I just want to cover this bowl. Okay. It's like a blue and white box. Just get me a little bowl cover. Okay, so I just washed my hands. I'm just going to clean the edge. Okay, I got that. So I get these little bowl covers on Amazon. They're pretty cheap. You get like 100 of them. It's like stretchy. These are fantastic for sourdough. This one just fits over here. This is perfect. And I'm going to let this sit for half an hour. And then I'm going to do my first fold. I'll show you.